Tommy Kissinger with Go Bearded Beard Products Company, also a community and a brotherhood for the bearded. Thanks for joining us once again. In this video, we're going to be doing a recap of our Colorado 2023 trip, the exciting stuff we did, and what else we have coming up for the remainder of the year for the Go Bearded 2023 adventures. Before we do that, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button, the thumbs up button, thank you so very much. If you would consider doing that. If you have not subscribed to the channel, come on into the Go Bearded Brotherhood, baby, and get you some bearded love from Tommy. So we want you to be a part of it. And I got a lot of ground to cover, so let's get right on into this. I want to do a recap. About a month ago, I just got back from the Colorado 2023 trip. So I got some notes here. I have it laid out because it's so many thoughts. Don't want to miss anything and don't want to ramble. So want to stay right on course. And here we go. So I got in there on a Wednesday. It was July 19th. Got into Durango. That was a Wednesday. We flew on into Durango, Colorado. That was a chill day. Then on Thursday, we did horseback riding. Super fun time right outside of Durango. Me, the wife, my son, his friend Dylan, these people that we did it with, they did a really good job. The scenery was amazing. We enjoyed the ride. I was actually on a donkey, and so was my wife. And then I think my son and his friend, they were on the horses. So we had a great time with that. And then after that, we went on into Silverton and Ouray. We took the $1 Million Highway. If you've never been on this $1 Million Highway, it's one of the coolest roads in the country. Spectacular scenery. I've been on it a few times. Finally, this time I got sunny days when I was on the $1 Million Highway. Switchbacks, just inclines, and just beautiful scenery, bringing you on into the town of Silverton and Ouray. We went all the way into Ouray first, and we did something called Box Canyon Falls. It just was a short hike, brought you to an amazing, gushing, flowing waterfall that was really worth seeing. And so while we were in town there, we ate lunch and, of course, hit a brewery. So that was the Thursday. Friday, we got up at the crack of dawn, and Miss Jill, who is a local that lives there in Durango, she came and picked us up with her wonder dog, Wilson, and we started the journey out to the trailhead of Handy's Peak, which is, we came in from the Silverton side, but the peak itself is kind of close to Lake City. And we had to go over an epic pass called Cinnamon Pass. This was an adventure in and of itself. And all I can say is thank God Jill was driving. She knows what she's doing. She lives there. She's got a Toyota Tacoma with plenty of clearance. And it is a tough pass to get across. You're on this pass for probably over an hour. Switchbacks. You're crossing boulders, rocks. You're getting out of the truck sometimes, figuring out how you're going to get across these things and make these turns. But she did a great job, got us all the way back to the trailhead of Handy's Peak. Handy's Peak is a peak in the San Juan mountain range there in Colorado. The San Juans are just breathtaking. They are spectacular. They're some of the prettiest mountains. And so we got out there that day. You're out in the middle of nowhere by the time you get out there. The wildflowers were beautiful. The hike was great. It's one of Colorado's great 14ers. It's a 14,000 foot mountain. When you get up to the top, you are standing at over 14,000 feet. So yeah, it was an epic journey. I was so stoked and pumped because I got my wife up to the top. I got my son up to the top. His friend Dylan made it up. And of course, Jill was with us and the wonder dog Wilson. So that was just a spectacular time. We're so thankful to Jill, the local who lives there in Durango. She's just a great person. And so then Saturday, we recovered from that. It was a chill day. hung out in the Durango area. Later that night, we went to the Hot Springs area in Durango. That was really cool. You can get in these hot springs, these kind of little areas, all these little designated areas that you get in and out of. Some are very hot, they go down to warm, and then they go down to cold and freezing cold. And we got in and out of those. It was just very refreshing for the body. And then Sunday, we did a day in Telluride. We drove to Telluride. We did a hike there that brought us to one of the great falls in that area. And that was just really spectacular. And then we went to one of the local restaurants right there, had some great pizza, some great craft beer, and just a really good time. It's beautiful there in Telluride. And that was part one of the trip. So then, well, let's go over the breweries that I got to go to in that area. I'm a big craft beer enthusiast. So these were the breweries I hit over in that area. Ska Brewery, which is in Durango. Then we hit Mr. Grumpy Pants, which was in Ouray. And we hit Ouray Brewery in the town of Ouray. And then we hit Steamworks, which is in Durango. And then, of course, we hit Telluride Brewery, which is in Telluride. So that recaps part one of the trip. Part two, got up Monday morning. I flew on into Denver. I got the rental car and met my buddies, JP and Nate. And then we headed to Manitou Springs. And so what we did on that Monday, we did the Manitou Incline. This is an incline that goes about a mile up into the sky. When you're done, you're probably standing at about 8,000 feet. And it is just really tough on the legs, the cardio, the breathing. It's just a great challenge, a great exercise. And you get to take this bar trail back down. It's a side trail that you take on back down. It took us about an hour and a half, I think, to get all the way up to the top of the Manitou Incline. And then that night we drove on in the back way into Breckenridge and ended up going through Fairplay over the Continental Divide and into Breckenridge. And so we got in position. Day two in Breckenridge was a chill day. We just hung around town. We ate at a great breakfast place called Amazing Grace. You got to check that out if you get in the town of Breckenridge. And we went and saw the really cool, famous wood sculpture that they have of this troll in town called Isaac Heartstone. And that was just a chill out day. We were getting ready because the next day we're getting ready to meet up with another local there in the Breckenridge area. His name is Greg. He was so kind to take us on and to take us to do Greaux and Torrey's Peaks. And it's also an adventure to get to that trailhead. You got about 45 minutes of off-road stuff and you need good clearance with the vehicle. And so we did 2 peaks in one day. We went up to Torrey's first, and then you can go over to Greaux and then back down. So we bagged 2 14ers, 2 14,000-foot mountains in one day. Greg was amazing to do all that for us. The next day, I was debating whether or not I wanted to do this, if I had the strength and the stamina to do it. But I did another mountain peak. I did it by myself. It was a solo hike. It was Quandary Peak, and this is the 3rd time now I've done Quandary. It'll always be my first love. It's the first one that I ever did. So, hey, I did it. I started really early at like 4:30 in the morning. It was pitch black. I felt like at the time I was the only one on the mountain. It is quiet, quiet. I was scared to death, man, out there in the dark. But, hey, man, had the headlamp on, been on that mountain before, so I knew what I was doing. It's pretty chilly that day, windy. I got up to the top, and it was really windy, so I didn't spend a whole lot of time at the top, but it was still epic. Got great pics and videos, came on back down. So that was Thursday in the Breckenridge area. Then Friday, we teamed back up with Greg again. He took us to Mount Bierstadt. Mount Bierstadt was really, really cool. Another 14er. It was very unique when we got to the trailhead and you looked all around. It reminded me of something like from Scotland or Ireland. It was just all this greenery, a really green area. And it was a beautiful lake there at the bottom. And so we went up Mount Bierstadt, had at the top, the last section of it, a really challenging, unique, cool boulder scramble. Kind of down on your hands and all fours getting on up there. And it was also a windy, kind of chilly day at the top. Came on back down. We got a really great treat at the bottom. We saw 2 moose. And they were in this lake at the bottom, and they were just bathing in the lake. Everybody stopped. We were silent. We watched them for about 30 minutes. They got up out of the lake, these huge creatures. You're just in awe of them, and got plenty of pics and videos of that, and then they took off. And then, so that was the Friday. Saturday, we rented some bikes from our good buddies there in Breckenridge from the Ridden Bike Shop. And they drove us with the bikes. We actually staged a car at Outer Range Brewery. Then we got in the truck with Mr. Chris, and he took us on up to the top of Vail Pass, let us off there. We got out with the bikes, and we did this bike trail. It's all paved. It's all downhill. It is just really nice and relaxing. You're flying downhill. And hey, the beard was parting like the Red Sea, man, when I was just going down. And we rode the bikes all the way down from Vail Pass into the town of Frisco. On the way, we stopped in the Copper Mountain area, and we had some lunch there. As I said, went all the way down into the town of Frisco, into Main Street, and we ended up at Outer Range Brewery. That was one to really remember. And then our last day, getting back to the airport, we stopped off in Idaho Springs. Really cool town. And we also scouted out some spots for some whitewater rafting. You know, we just saw some cool areas where the whitewater rafting takes place, some Class 2 and Class 3 areas. And so the breweries we got to go to on that leg of the trip, we went to the Manitou Springs Brewery, South Park Brewing, Outer Range, which is one of my favorites, absolute favorite breweries there. They have fried chicken, just great killer hazy IPAs. Of course, I love Broken Compass. The owner, Ford, is a really cool guy with a beard down to about here. Got some pictures with him. Nice guy. And a great brewery there, Broken Compass. And then we also got to go to the Tommy Knocker Brewery when we stopped in Idaho Springs. So that is a recap of all of that. So now, altogether, I have conquered about 8 of the 14ers in Colorado. There's 58 of them. Hey, man, so I got a ways to go. But I've done 8 of them. And, hey, the mountains are calling and I must go. They call, man. They're calling and they're waiting for you to go. What do they represent, man? They represent conquering something. They represent getting to the top. They represent a challenge. They represent what all it takes to get there, your training and your dedication and your research and your study, man. And so it was just a great time in the heavenly land of Colorado. I absolutely love it. I encourage you to go there because, as I said, the mountains are calling and they're awaiting your return, or they're waiting for you to go and experience them. So what we have coming up next in 2023, the big boy, going to the Grand Canyon, baby. That's going to be in the last week of October. I'm meeting up with some friends. Also supposed to have one of my buddies coming who's going to do an epic professional video there. What we're going to do is we're going to go to the bottom. We're going to take the South Kaibab Trail, go to the bottom, and we're going to spend the night at the Bright Angel Campground. And then we're going to take the Bright Angel Trail back up. Also, what we have booked, I'm super excited about this. We've got a reservation for a steak dinner at the famous Phantom Ranch at the bottom of the Grand Canyon. Getting to eat a steak at the bottom of the Grand Canyon. And then the next morning, we also have reservations at the Phantom Ranch for breakfast. And so, hey, we're going to continue the training. I'm dedicated to the training, man. I'm dedicated to nutrition, eating right. You want to eat real food, mainly plants, not too much. You want to get plenty of cardio. You want to work the legs out. Plenty of lunges, air squats, really just getting after it on the leg training. So that's what we do. We're committed to it. And these adventures, hey, they give me something to look forward to. They give me memories. They give me excitement. And they keep me focused, dedicated, and training year round. So, also, we want to encourage you to go to the website, man. Go to GeauxBearded.com. GEAUX bearded.com. For all your beard care needs, oil, butter, balm, wash, conditioner. We've got merch. We have excellent stuff. Give us a little time. We're going to work our way, by the grace of God, into one of the best beard product companies in the country. We've got a great, clear brand, a great, clear brand story, great products, great scents. It's all for you. Go to GeauxBearded.com. And when you go there to the website, be on the lookout. We've got a Labor Day special sale coming up. We're going to have a percentage off of all of the products site-wide. Man, go look at it. You're going to love the oils, the butters, balms, wash, conditioners, man. We have been getting great reviews. People absolutely love the scents. They love the viscosity of the oil. They've been raving over the butter, just getting super great reviews. So check out the Labor Day sale coming up. And so I want to leave you with some things. I know this is a little bit of a longer video, but I want to leave you with some things here, some inspiration to go and grow. What does growing your beard signify, okay? So it signifies growth, maturity, patience, goal setting, perseverance, ignoring the naysayers, okay? And remember these things. These are some of our clear sayings, our kind of phrases of inspiration that we want you to carry around with you. Grab life by the beard, baby. What are you waiting for? Grab life by the beard. The mountains are calling, and you must go, and I must go. What does that mean? Adventure's calling, challenges, your goals, your dreams, your hobbies, your passions. What is your mountaintop? What's calling you? You need to find out what it is. Stop wasting time procrastinating and go for it, baby. It's time to go. It's time to go, and it's time to grow. So many people settle, they plateau, they never let their beards grow, and they don't grow as an individual either. Don't be plateaued, man. Come on. You are going and growing onto bigger and better challenges. Tommy with Go Bearded is challenging you. Go for it, man. Go and grow into your challenges. We're all about growth at Go Bearded. Hey, grow the beard, grow as a man, grow into your masculinity and who you're called to be. We're here to inspire everyone, everywhere, to live your best life now. You got it? So check out our most recent blog, which is coming up, dedicated to the Colorado 2023 recap. Also be looking for the pictures. We're going to have a lot of pictures in the blog. It'll be on the website. And finally, remember, have a vision. Think big. Ignore the naysayers. Work hard. And give back, change the world, and make it a better place. Okay? In the words of John Muir, keep close to nature's heart. Break clear away and climb a mountain or spend a week in the woods. Wash your spirit clean, baby. As always, go Tommies, go Tigers, and you better go